B.R. Newman here with Helios. What you see before you is a 3-card tarot spread drawn to match your specific astrological zodiac sign in this very moment in time. What you're hearing in the background is a soothing set of brainwave entrainment frequencies created for the purpose of assisting you with any obstacles unique to this month, astrological or otherwise, woven into a relaxing, natural soundscape. Oh, and by the way, I create these audio files myself with some of the best technology available and can customize them to address whatever you might be working with, whether you want to take advantage of opportunities, overcome challenges, or accentuate any of your astrological placements. Pretty cool stuff. And these kinds of things and more are all available on my website, IamHelios.com, and there you'll also find tarot and astrology readings, but also extremely comprehensive yet simple and easy to follow astrology and tarot courses, so check those out. Now let's take a look at what we're working with here this month. You can see in the image on your screen you have 3 cards. The one in the middle is a central theme. It's meant to summarize your general situation, and then on either side of it are 2 cards, or 2 doorways you could look at them as. You walk through one or the other, so listen to the definitions of everything to not only reflect on the nature of your current situation, but also make a conscious choice about how you would like to proceed, the left-hand path or the right-hand path. But first and foremost, your central theme. The 10 of Cups. Like all 10s in tarot, this is associated with Malkuth, the kingdom, the realm, the world. This is the plane upon which actualized potentials reside. This is Spherith number 10 on the Tree of Life. And as manifest through water, through cups in this case, this is a sense of complete satisfaction, fullness, satiety. All is fulfilled. However, as it is true with the rest of the 10s, this could be representing something that's a little too much, like a flood. Everything's overflowing. There can be too much of a good thing. This could also be pointing to something that is being taken for granted, in which case this card reminds you to not miss out. Take advantage of what you have. Don't take anything for granted. Embracing this card would involve examining fullness itself, admitting what you do have in the form of counting your blessings perhaps, but also acknowledging the ways in which you might be excessive, the ways in which you might have been spoiled. Is your current way of being sustainable? Or have you maybe become stagnant? Ultimately, the role of this card is to instill a sense of gratitude and appreciation, and to remind you what it's all about, what the most important things are in life. From this position, you can choose to take the left-hand path or the right-hand path. So we'll start with the left. The Hermit. This card embodies seclusion, taking time off, taking time out, delving deep into something, seeking inspiration and wisdom. The Hermit's focus is singular and almost obsessive. His desire is to get to the core of all things, to find illumination from deep within. Fully embracing this card almost always entails doing something alone, taking sole responsibility for something. So this is certainly a card of independence and being alone, but not lonely. The Hermit has the clarity of his own thoughts. He has himself to keep himself company, and that's quite enough. No one put the Hermit in this position, no one abandoned or forgot him. He is where he is by design, by his own intent, to be away from distraction, to focus his mind. When introspection at this depth is achieved, the transition between one's own uninterrupted thoughts and communication with others can be rather painful, very jostling. When someone is, by design, deeply introspective, they will often, for lengthy stretches of time, put their own thoughts on hold, simply to avoid the transition between the freedom of their own thoughts and the experience of mutual communication with another person. When someone, unknowingly perhaps, interrupts this process, either to get the introvert's attention or to simply express themselves, the introvert will actually experience a kind of collapse, a drastic downgrade from the freedom of uninterrupted thought to what is perceived as mundane communication. And this collapse can be such a hindrance to certain people's psychological construction methods that some choose to seek solitude permanently. In this case, embracing this card does not necessarily entail such permanent seclusion, but rather suggests, if this card is fully embraced, that this is a time in which this kind of seclusion may in fact be vital to the process of discovering one's own inner illumination. Or you can choose to approach the situation outlined by your central theme according to the right-hand path. The Knight of Swords. Like the rest of the 16 court cards, this court card has one of the Myers-Briggs personality profiles assigned to it, and in this case this is the ESTJ, or the Extroverted Sensing, Thinking, Judger. Embracing, activating this card will entail embracing and activating this personality profile within you, and perhaps this is a minor aspect of your personality being brought to the forefront, or this might be your dominant personality profile, identified as the most relevant contributor to a strategy that will result in optimizing your ability to take advantage of the opportunities being presented and to overcome any challenges that you may face as well. The personality profile itself, extroverted meaning outwardly focused, extending the self into the world from the core out rather than from the outside in, drawing the external into the internal. Sensing rather than intuiting entails deriving decisions from evidence, measurable data. Thinking rather than feeling is rather self-explanatory. Prioritizing perhaps the left hemisphere of the brain rather than the right, so the logical, reasonable side, the objective side of things, rather than the feeling, compassionate, creative, intuitive side. And lastly, judging versus perceiving. So judging means strategizing at every juncture, analyzing all of the pros and cons for every situation. So this is a very objective personality profile, and a very commanding personality profile, very hard-charging. A natural administrator, so they demand order and structure. So they're very opinionated, results-driven, and also quite traditional and conservative. Additionally, I should mention, this can come in as a personality profile that you encounter. For example, a close relative, perhaps a father or grandfather. This personality profile is common among the males of the older generations. And the intent here is to produce order, to produce coherence, to develop responsibility, thus generating desirable results. And that concludes this month's complimentary tarot reading. Of course, to get truly serious, very specific, in the most useful way possible, you're going to want to contact me for a tarot reading, for an astrology reading, or a tarot-astrology fusion reading. You'll be so glad you did. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and explore other videos I might have that are relevant to this month. You can subscribe to my website to receive updates, special deals, and freebies as well. I hope you have a really great month. Thank you so much for watching.